Welcome back, Stowe Clubbers. I'm Amanda.
I'm Jennifer.
And I'm DJ.
Okay.
Bless you.
I get. So today we're going to talk about the most underrated, our opinions of most underrated Disney movies.
I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.
Be a man, we must be swift as a coursing river, man. With all the force of a great typhoon. Be a man, with all the strength of a raging fire. Mysterious as the dark side of the moon. Please welcome.
So, if you can't tell by Jennifer's little pals, what do you think is one of the most underrated Disney movies?
The Rescuers and the Rescuers Down Under. And I believe The Rescuers Down Under is the very first ever sequel Disney made.
We'll have to double check that.
I think so. R-E-S-C-U-E.
Touch the sky, you mean everything to me.
DJ, what is, in your opinion, the singular most underrated Disney movie?
I believe that title goes to Atlantis, The Lost Empire, simply because the movie was really well done on animation. The dialogue was always interactive, like you could enjoy it, and it had such a good storyline. You could watch it all ages and enjoy it. Personal opinion, I watched it as a teenager and a child, and I thought the movie was fantastic in every way.
I haven't watched that in years.
Oh, I can't wait because I remember the live action version, and apparently Tom Holland might play Milo.
A lot of that's like fan art.
Yeah.
So we don't know.
Well, it's,
if that's
Well,
it's
really
rumored. It's not
Okay.
confirmed or anything.
Or fan recommendations?
We'll see.
But that would be very excited. Treasure Planet.
Yes.
Is one the one I think is so underrated.
You're so
I just love the story of Treasure Island, and Treasure Planet brought the futuristic spin on it.
Sorry.
I enjoyed it so much, and just So, items that are usually considered an underrated Disney movie are ones that just typically didn't do well in the box office.
DuckTales.
Woohoo!
That are other movies that got outshined just by bad timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, a
Like
lot
for
of
example,
it-
Big Hero 6.
Right, and so there was other movies that came out during that time period, Big Hero 6, that people say it was underrated. A lot of them, too, has to deal with a certain time within the company. There's a lot of movies that came out in the 80s that are very underrated.
Yes.
We have Oliver and Company.
Yes.
That came out in the 80s. The Black Cauldron, I don't remember what year that came out.
That was in the 80s, and that was very...
What year was Hunchback released?
Hunchback was in the 90s.
Hunchback is in the Disney Renaissance era.
I know Goofy movie wasn't in the 80s either.
The Black Cauldron was one because we talked about this in the Disney Princesses, that she is one of those characters that is a actual princess in her movie, but she's not considered part of the Disney Princess franchise.
And The Fox and the Hound came out, I believe, also in the 80s. That's another one that's underrated.
It gets skipped over a lot.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with the time within the Disney company that they were maybe transitioning with, like, roles, like business-wise and with the company, or just even the time period when movies were, when it was coming out, that wasn't doing really well. Even in the 70s, there are a lot of films like the Aristocats, one of my favorite ones. Yes, you can say that it's getting pumped out a lot now with the Marie merchandise.
Yeah.
Marie's the white little cat with the bow. But some people say that's underrated. You almost can say, we did a video last 25 Days of Disney where we talked about how 101 Dalmatians changed the animation industry.
Yes.
With that xerography. I want to say it might be during that time period when that animation was going on. That's when the Aristocats were.
Yes.
That's when Oliver and Company was.
Robin
During that,
Hood.
Robin Hood was another one. That's in the 70s, I believe.
Yes.
And then you also have Sword in the Stone, and might fit within that category. Those are forgotten about a lot.
Yes.
When you think about it, though, there are so many movies in the Disney catalog that you're going to have some that are forgotten about. And I think another thing what's happening now is as we progress further and further down the timeline, like to right at present, there's becoming a bigger and bigger gap. That now that's what's happening. everyone's so focused on like the 90s, because some people that in the 90s are so far away.
Yeah.
When it's not. But when you think about it, when we're going into 2020, look how old like some
I don't
of
want
these
to talk
movies
about it.
are.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, it's a lot that's going on. Oh, I know what's happening next year.
Oh, something I might add though, when it comes to like movies getting out, like there's movies that have been outshined, like Big Hero 6 and all that. But then there's names like how you say the box office didn't care for it. But there's always the one more thing, the crowd just didn't like it. Like for example, The Hunchback, as you mentioned, The Fox and the Hound. Those are movies that are meant more towards emotion, not towards fun loving. Like The Hunchback's a depressing story. The Fox and the Hound, that's actually a bit of a sad story when you think about it too.
Yeah, and a lot of it too is you have to think of the box office in the movie industry was very different years ago. So when things were getting put out there, maybe a lot of people couldn't afford to go to the movies.
Right.
Or they preferred not to do that. Well, but the thing is too, back then everything was, there was stuff getting released, it was VHS.
Yes.
And so not everyone had ready access to everything like we do now. So that's why the movie industry was also different during that time period. So
yeah,
there's a lot of that stuff too. But some of these really surprised me, like Princess and the Frog. They made such a big deal about that because that was actually the last Disney movie that used, if you would say, like
2D animation.
the traditional animation.
You want to talk about movies that don't deserve on this? Hercules is on this list.
Yeah.
It does not deserve.
James and the Giant Peach is on this
Okay,
thing.
that one I just give it to
That
H.
thing, the commercials always creeped me out when I was little.
That movie scared me when I was little. I loved it.
You guys?
But at the same time, I was scared.
You guys remember the old 20th Century Fox thing? And now soon in theaters, and it just goes to all these like random Disney movies and all this other junk. Like James and the Giant Peach was always the first one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Hercules should not be on this list. I will fight anybody who says otherwise.
And then this, because I went, E! Online has a list of a number of them, and then HuffPost has some too. And I know, like, A Bug's Life doesn't get a lot of credit, because that's going to be one of the Pixar movies that they have not put out a sequel to, and some people forget about it.
Yeah.
But then, I know that's what some of these really were odd with the HuffPost. They picked really random ones, like Fantasia 2000 they picked. Tangled, which that's not underrated. So I don't understand why that's even on there.
Princess in the franchise.
Yeah, and then
Would
for
you say
this,
Brave has been underrated too. Like it's just not as popular because people don't care for it that
if
much.
anything,
like,
I would say Brave might be more underrated
Then
than
Tangled.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like Brave does have a Disney princess, but like you never hear it mentioned and all that.
Yeah. But Meet the Robinsons, I really like that one.
I hated it as a child, but I thought those
I
coffee patches.
liked it
the
because
coffee
you're
patch
always
lady,
moving
that's
forward. It has
The T-Rex.
Yes.
Yeah,
But the coffee patch lady was like, I had 12 cups of coffee. And she's just like, coffee.
What exactly well thought out? Now what's this?
like they have little arms. They put Pocahontas on here. And I know my friend Julie will actually argue that Pocahontas is very underrated. She thinks that it should be more popular than it is. Well, she loves Pocahontas.
That's the same argument for Hercules. I think the favoritism just kind of kicks into play. Like, Hercules is my favorite movie, so I'll forever say that's like top tier Disney movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's like her argument with like I think favoritism before ever changed this list. Like everybody has their perspective,
Which
they all
is
have their
true.
favorite list.
That's
But
like-
we can all agree like some movies will get outshined by others due to release times, like Frozen and Big Hero 6. Frozen destroyed it because everybody saw Frozen, like new opportunities, so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing I think we should add though. Just because these movies are called underrated, and I put that in heavy quotations, that doesn't mean they're bad.
Right.
That's the one thing people
That's
forget.
why also we wanted to do this to put some names out there. Maybe, hey, since Disney Plus is around now, you guys can watch all these.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there's so many on here, and it's like being a kid again.
Like I want to watch The Sword and Stone again.
Oh, that's so good.
I like that one.
The very last movie, which I think travels the middle ground though, of popular and underrated, is Ratatouille. Because you once it came out, for 3 years, it was the top name, everybody talked about it. After a while, everybody's like, who cares? It's just Ratatouille.
And what's funny is that Disney right now, currently at Epcot, they're in the process of building the Ratatouille ride that's at the Paris park, I believe. That now they're building over at Epcot, and that's be opening this summer.
No.
So that's just kind of funny that it's,
How quick something
could be
can
underrated or people don't talk about a lot, and then they're doing that. So
Right. All right. Tell us what you think is the most underrated Disney movie in the comments below. We want to know what movie you think deserved more attention than it got.
Hercules.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time for 25 Days Disney. Have a good one.
Bye.
If you enjoyed me playing with toys, give this video a thumbs up. Hi.
Hi.
You work for me.
Amanda. My life is pretty awesome.
If you enjoyed me, give this video a thumbs up.
See the line where the sky gets to see it calls me, and no one knows how far it goes. If the wind in my sails on the sea stays behind me, one day I'll know. If I go, there's just no telling how far I'll go.
If you enjoyed me playing with toys, give this video a thumbs up.